Hi friends, this is Pranav Shukla. I'm English teacher. Today we are going for 10th standard NCERT and our today's concern is out of two textbooks, the supplementary reader is our today's concern and we are dealing with the first chapter, namely A Triumph of Surgery. Friends, the first chapter is in many ways very important. It's very interesting also. First of all, it is a vocabulary treat. You'll find number of new words, number of words from medical terminologies, number of words related to veterinary world, and apart from that, it has got a direct relevance with our human life. Though the story deals with a dog, but in a way we can just take it. It is metaphorically related to human being or a human child. Before telling the story, I'd like to share something with you. I'd like to comment upon the very loving and pampering mothers. I've seen some mothers, it is their love actually, but sometimes their love, their over pampering can be very harmful, injurious to child's health. Seen some mothers, they always are worried about their child's hunger. They think the child is always hungry. They keep on stuffing one thing or the other thing into them. They are so much concerned, worried that they don't allow them to play freely, run around freely. They think their clothes will be spoiled. They think they will be injured. They'll be fallen down. So this concern can actually take the child's liberty, freedom of playing away from them. At the same time, simultaneously, it also harms their health. If child plays well for a long time, goes for outdoor playing, he runs well, he twists and turns, he wriggle, it will be very beneficial for his or her health. It keeps them away from being obese. Modern days, major concern is obesity among the young children. And it is all because of fast food, overeating, and somewhere it is mothers pampering their love towards their children, their concern really work after that. So friends, though this is not the story of a child, it is a story of a dog owner who is highly pampering, very lovable to the dog, and keeps on feeding dog. Dog is literally enjoying a king size food every day. A lot of care from that owner, that lady. So the story revolves around the dog, namely Tricky. He's a small dog, but he's very pampered, overfed. He's turned out to be almost obese. Normally we don't see tummy in the dogs, but funnily in the chapter we can see the tummy of the dog easily, which is just bulges out of his body and easily reflects that the dog is become very fat and lazy. He's the dog of a very rich mistress whose name is Mrs. Pumphrey. So one day this dog seriously falls ill and his mistress really consults a veterinary doctor, that is our writer himself, namely James Harriet. The writer of the chapter is not a professional writer actually. He's a British veterinary surgeon from Yorkshire, England, and his time span was around 1940. But he writes down his experience of treating the dog. So the lady, Mrs. Pumphrey, consults the doctor So now we are supposed to see whether he performs the operation to get the dog out of this illness or some other ways are used. Sometimes we are so much concerned about our children that we force this doctor to operate the child or do something very quickly just to get the child out. But doctors are very professionals. They know what is right and what is wrong for the patient. So they treat them according to their own convenience, according to their own theory, their own methods. So here the same thing happens. Mr. James Herriot treats the dog in his own way and keeps Mrs. Pumphrey in doubt regarding the treatment of the dog. In a way, he keeps certain things from Miss Pumphrey regarding the treatment of the dog, but it's all for the welfare of the dog as well as what the honor of the dog. So let's see how everything happens. What does the veterinary surgeon do? The name of the chapter is A Triumph of Surgery. Friends, here surgery normally is an operation that is performed by the patient. But here surgery is actually the name of the clinic or the place where the dog is kept under the observation and may done certain exercises and all the kind of different sessions of treatment, and ultimately instead of operation, all this treatment in the form of exercises and diet, food and all that really bring the dog out of that trouble. So the modus operandi of the entire clinic, of that surgery, really wins and brings the dog out of the trouble. So the title is Triumph of Surgery. Triumph means victory. It is the victory of surgery. Surgery means the place where the dog is kept and treated without any medicine, without any surgical operations, but by simple diet and a lot of exercise. And in this treatment, even the social concern, matlab, the dog being social with the other dogs, as he was the dog of a very rich mistress, he was kept alone and he was treated very carefully. He was pampered a lot. But now, matlab, he didn't have any struggle to be done for getting food or anything else. So he was having a very rich, kingly life. But when he comes to the surgery, he's kept with the other dogs. So he has to play with them. He has to run for the food. He has to manage his food. He has to pave his way out of the problems when it arises with the other dogs. So he's become very societal with the other dogs, and just being social, he keeps himself very busy. He runs around. He does exercises. He has to follow the diet food. Sometimes he misses his food just to remain hungry. All these things actually reduces his weight, and when the weight is reduced, he is feeling very energetic. He's just restored his dog spirit back, and we can say his being in surgery brings him his health back. So it is truly the triumph of surgery. So let's now read the chapter word to word. Again, I have just put down all the meanings of the difficult words on the top of the words, putting all the references over there, meaning of the idioms. So you please note it down everything. After the chapter, we'll also discuss the question answer. It may happen, as it is a very long chapter, so we might finish it in parts. So you can consider this one is the first part of the chapter. Okay.